Scorpio, hello. So excited. I am going to finish off your reading with an oracle card from the deck that I just got today. Exciting. Okay, so this is your general love reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascending for Scorpio. Communication problems, look at Mercury. Looking deeper into love itself, you want to look at where your placement for your Venus is. If you don't know where those things are, there's a link down below in the description that explains it to you. It's just free natal chart. There's also a link for AC Digital Marketing Solutions, which is to my best friend's page, and she does all my beautiful, funky thumbnails because she's a graphic designer and does social media management. Okay, now let's see. For those of you always supporting, thank you for practically being my best supporters. I love you all. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I practice holistic wellness, and I also do spiritual regression hypnosis. So for this reading, we're going to look at present, past, what's coming towards you, overall energy. We're going to clarify. For those of you that want to know, I'm using the MUSE Tarot to select your cards, and then I'm going to clarify. I get a very, I don't know, traditional feel around this. I'm using the Rider-Waite traditional tarot for that. Okay. Current energy, Page of Swords. Decision time. So, the Lovers, recent past. Why do I feel like you're deciding to let somebody go here? Could be Ten of Swords, what's coming towards you, or somebody's letting you go. Don't really feel that's fair, but let's see. I get a very unfair sense of that. Whether it is unfair or you just perceive it to be unfair, we'll see. But overall energy. Overall energy, King of Wands and the Seven of Cups. You may sort of regret that you ever really made this connection. I feel that you're almost with somebody that doesn't really... It's almost like you feel that they're weak. They don't challenge you enough, you know. Now, you know, one wants to be careful sometimes with this. This is almost like one of those things where we can sometimes feel that I wish they would just do something, make some sort of decision, you know. Be careful of somebody's comparing someone to someone here, and it's weird for me because I am never unclear in my readings. In fact, I don't normally do very much the other person sort of thing. My focus is on you. All right? Okay. Which to me might indicate that, you know, there might be a certain way that you are seeing things. You've got your mind set on that. You're not kind of like prepared to see it in a different way. But you may be dead set wrong. Okay? Yes, I said it. You may be wrong. Okay? Now, we're going to clarify, so don't hop and get offended about it. So, where you currently are, Page of Swords. There's a definite thinking here about letting somebody go. And I feel that you might feel that it's the wisest choice. Now, I don't want to stir. I really don't want to stir. But I feel that as you... Now, this might be a connection that you're still sort of with someone, officially, so to speak. But it's almost like in their heart, they already let you go. Now, instead of jumping ahead and actually just saying, you know what, I'm just going to let you go, I actually feel that you might actually really be able to salvage the situation, but it's going to sort of take a lot of brutal honesty in the sense that you're going to have to really be honest about the games that you played. Okay? Now, I'm just going to leave it at that. So that was the Ten of Swords going forward and the recent past, the Lovers. So, you know, I feel that whatever this connection might be, there may have been some sort of lie right from the start. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you meant to deceive the person. Um, I think this is almost one of the situations where one tells a little white lie, or you don't sort of like fully divulge all information, and you don't really sort of envision that it's going to turn out as badly as it does, you know. You're like, okay, so this is sort of happening. I'm not, I like this person, or I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like having that sort of conversation. I'm not really going to tell them about it. So it's not so much that you like that, you know, you may not have really meant to literally go and deceive them. It could be more that you thought like, you know, this is going to float away. You know, I'll deal with it when it comes up, which is probably never. So I'm just going to sort of laugh it off. And then it sort of stepped forward more than you might have imagined. I feel that for some of you, you may have been involved with somebody else and you didn't quite completely cut it off just yet before, like, you know, before you went in here. But it's almost like, you know, sometimes we feel that because we are done, that they also done. And they kind of coming back, especially here in your current energy. And this is quite a strong sort of energy that you're dealing with, that they're kind of coming back and they're letting you know, like, I was not done with you. You know, and they sort of coming down like a whole ton of bricks on you. Whether you feel this is fair, whether you feel this is not fair, they coming back and they want justice. Like, who do you think you were? Like, you know, how could you possibly do that to me? You know, so the connection that you had here with someone was very strong, and in a sense, I feel that it might have kind of really caught you sort of off guard, you know. You didn't quite expect it to take the sort of almost serious kind of turn that it may have taken. But this person is coming, you know, to confront you. It's almost like they really understand, like if you look at the Seven of Cups, it's like they understand your buttons. You know, they understand which button to push. So they're not concerned about any of these other things. They know how to get you. And they very much considering pulling out those stops that are not really going to be in your best interest. They may say that they're doing it from the highest good, maybe not that much, all right? Remember, when we are dealing with hearts and emotions and things like that, it's a very different sort of ballgame. Now, let's look at this person that you upset at so badly here, because whether you meant to, whether you didn't mean to, in romance, in love, in you upset at somebody very badly. Okay, so Knight of Swords, first clarifier. First instinct is to distance yourself from that situation. That is not going to work. I can tell you that now already, that is not going to work. Okay. Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords. Those are the two first clarifiers that are coming out for you. And then there's the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups actually quite surprised me, and it sort of went upside down. So, your initial reaction is going to be to run. I would actually strongly advise that you don't. You know what I feel? I feel that in a sense, now please don't get me wrong, I am not trying to help you manipulate any sort of situation. But I feel that the expectation is that you're going to run. Like, whoever comes to confront you so strongly, they expect that you're going to run. When you actually stand your ground and fight the battle, it's like their heart just melt. They're like, what did you do? Like, you didn't run. Like, you know, you actually still care for me. Because I feel that they feel kind of really sort of done in by you. And if you actually, you know, can find the courage to, in fact, own up to what you've done wrong instead of trying to justify it. Things can actually swing in your favor very, very beneficially. All right. Now, let's look at that Seven of Cups. I'm going to draw 2 cards for that. First card that came out was the Three of Wands. This story is far from over. Scorpios, this story is far from over. It might mean that you have to sort of be really almost doing something that is, I wouldn't say not in your nature, but it's incredibly brave what you have to do. What fell here? So we had the Magician. So we have the Three of Wands and the Magician, and then the Two of Swords in reverse fell on the floor. And also the Page of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Okie dokie. So from the outside, this is done. This is about as done can be. Alright? The other person comes towards you. This is all happening very suddenly. It's a bit of a whirlwind. So, first of all, you will find yourself in a moment where your instinct is to sort of low vibe. Alright? If you can actually stand up, you know, I feel that you didn't really always speak your complete truth. You sort of censor yourself in ways. When you don't, it's such a different sort of thing that you are doing that this person actually, in fact, they sort of give you their cup of love, you know, and they just can't believe it because you are actually doing what they always wanted you to do. All right, now, so that is your option over there. Okay. I also find that you can actually find yourself from going from, oh my goodness, you know, what am I supposed to do, to things actually working out for you very well, very quickly. Okay, now, let's look at, apparently we're looking back with this one. So we're going to start with the Ten of Swords, which is actually what's coming towards you. Okay, so either way, this sort of mind game is coming to an end, one way or the other. And in a way, you might not be so happy about the fact that you let somebody see so much of who you are. It kind of makes you feel like you've got no power in the situation, all right? So we have got, what is this? Okay. The Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Cups. This is actually good. So there's a definite end to the situation, but the ending that we're getting more here, and you know that it's time to also kind of bring things to a halt. You know that this is not done. You know, you can fool yourself, you can whatever yourself. You and I both know that this is not done. All right? Now, it's like there's a choice that you are making here going forward. You know what's coming towards you. There's a choice that you are making here, and you are choosing which way you are actually directing your energy. All right? This playing the field vibe is not working for you. That's not working for you. All right? So there's that moment of truth, that moment of honesty, because for the High Priestess is like, you know, as we always say, it's like an oracle that always speaks the truth. But it speaks the truth for the greatest good. And I think the one thing that really sort of shocks here is that you didn't really realize that you actually want this controversial choice for yourself. Okay? So you were sort of playing the game, and then in a sense, it's almost like the game started to play you. Right? Because the intention was not to become as emotionally involved as you actually did. So the High Priestess is like, okay, so but now here you are. Like, you know, all cards on the table type of vibe. This is where you are. This is where you are. All right. And this is quite hopeful in a sense, you know, quite positive. Let's see. Not sure why we're going back with this reading, but okay. So for the Page of Swords, okay, this I should leave it exactly as they are, so I'm going to do that. So for the Page of Swords, the first card that came out that fell literally on top of that one was, and this one the same thing, the Four of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Fool in reverse. Okay, let's just get all these cards that are falling all over. I would let you know that I saw the star falling down on the floor, okay, which is a good thing actually. So the Four of Cups came out first. So it's almost like this person is sort of reaching out to you and you don't really know what to do with that information, but that situation. And that in itself kind of triggers where you currently are. So that is what leads to, now I understand why I had to read it backwards. But so remember that we first, in your reading, we first looked at what's coming towards you. Okay? So what is it that is actually bringing what's coming towards you towards you? This is a very backwards way of actually doing a reading, because now the current energy is sort of like, you know, almost like the recent past sort of energy. So we'll see why that is. But so with the Four of Cups, one way or the other, you are being reached out to. Okay? It puts you in a flat spin with the Nine of Swords. Like, what are they thinking? What do they want? All right? And the Fool in reverse. Your first sort of instinct is to either run, or, but it's more like in the sense of to do nothing, but in a way to almost somehow make yourself invisible. I'm not quite sure how you plan on doing that, but I feel it's something that you might be good at, making yourself totally invisible. And so that is the instinct to do. Now, we are all, whether we choose to want to do this or not, we are in the game of life. Life is an ongoing process. Okay? Once we sort of made a connection with somebody else, which is energy, the connection's there. Whether we want it to be there or not, the connection is there. All right? I'm going to draw you one more card for this current energy. Then we're going to go in the recent past, those lovers. This was steaming business. Okay? And it's more, you know, sometimes we make those very sort of emotional connections with people, and they kind of catch you unaware sometimes, you know. You kind of least expected it. The Tower. This is where you are at the moment. Okay? One way or the other. One way or the other. This situation is getting resolved. There's like a dwindling that's taking place over here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to kind of, you know, separate myself. And it doesn't really matter what you do, whether you decide to just not be available, or not to answer emails, or, you know, whatever, block the number. One way or the other, this is kind of played out. Okay? No more stalling. Now, let's look at the recent past. What is the passion that brought all this about? Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, Ace of Wands. Oi, you are in trouble. I'm going to draw you one more card. I'm going to tell you why you're in trouble. I'm going to tell you why you are in trouble. And the King of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles. If you already read tarot, you should be able to put this together for yourself. Ten of Wands. Knight of Wands. Ace of Wands is actually not a laughing matter. And King of Pentacles. Somehow this connection reminded you of sort of like what could be possible in life. Okay? Materialistically, yes, but more this is not a possibility that you would have envisioned for yourself. And it was lovely in the beginning, but then there were the Ten of Wands. This is always like one of those situations where in order for things to go forward, you're gonna have to release a previous version of yourself, that sort of like emotional version of yourself that doesn't serve you positively. And you actually did that. But for one, you know, it's almost like you cut yourself off from the past, you heal the past, you let the past go, you put in the work, but there's sort of one little something that you kept here on the side, you know. We're going to look at everything, but we're not going to look at that. We're going to leave that there in the corner. That became the problem. Now, the thing is that this other person might not really know exactly what that problem was. I somehow feel that you told them or showed them or portrayed it to them, or and they sort of got it, and they liked that about you, you know, in a sense that there was a sense of honesty there. Now, with the King of Pentacles, whatever started, you want this, and this encourages you to do the work. So you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, and it's like you began to see the light. It's like you began to realize that, you know, that what you want, you can actually bring it towards yourself. So you're in this very abundant flow that sort of brought you, like, from the recent past to the current to where you are right now. And so, you know, which actually brought you to the point where you realize, you know, maybe it's, you know, something has to be let go. It's sort of like you've got a more intellectual choice as to what it is that you have to do right now. And but it's almost like you're overthinking the situation, so life itself is stepping in. Because remember, also, when life is stepping in, it means that your desire is so strong. It doesn't really mean that some sort of force out there is deciding what it's going to do on your life. All right, we sort of portray what happens in our life. So your desire is so strong that your sort of the rest of your universal forces come to work with you because you're aligned now. You know, you don't envision yourself to just be a single sort of person dumped on earth. You know that there's more to life now than just you being human. And yeah, I feel that you're ready for that situation coming towards you. So when this person comes towards you and sort of confronts you, they don't expect to find this sort of enlightened person, you know. They think that you're going to be the dweeb that you were before. So, surprise. Good. Right. So if that resonates, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And then I'm going to draw you a card from the energies of the 7 oracles, which is the first time that I'm drawing for a reading from there. So you are the first. Yes, the new starts, the new beginnings, the new things. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorps. Okay, that's too many cards. That's a whole handful. The top one there did say let it go. Let's see what we have. Okay. Alright, so a card flew to the side and it says wish upon a star. You can ask for the assistance that you want to have. And also the card on top, I'm going to show you this one as well. It says time machine. You sort of, how would I put this? You kind of stepped away. You were looking at ways to fix just something small. And this is almost like when we become spiritually enlightened, and it kind of catches us off guard. That was not really ever our intention, but here you are. So, ciao, ciao, ciao.